Hey, what's up, you guys? So, happy Father's Day weekend. I wanted to do a fun little one, although to some people, they might view this as a little insane. But that's okay. That's why I'm here, because I'm willing to go where other people might be scared to go to start conversations. So, today we're going to talk about eugenics, a very interesting topic because of the connotation it has due to said guy back in the 1940s. He was German. He was also a painter, if you guys didn't know, and he's originally Austrian. So yeah, very interesting fellow. And he believed that we should try and maximize the amount of good genes we have and minimize the amount of bad genes we have. This process of eugenics. Now, in the past, eugenics has always been viewed under the lens of, hey, if people aren't as good as other people, maybe we shouldn't let them reproduce. Thus, you get the good genes together and you pair them with other people with good genes, and the kids have good genes. Now, I want to take that a little bit further, and I'm not going to say that we should be cutting off people from having kids. No, in fact, everyone should be having kids. Lots of kids. That would be beneficial. And then if you're wondering how we would even have that in a society, it's rather simple. We could just add some tax credits in for children like they do in Romania and other countries that have failing populations to supplement the families and allow them to actually have the babies. But taxes, different conversation. This one, I want to talk about rewiring the brain and eugenics, because there's a lot of interesting research coming out now that is stating something that we've known for a long time. Firstly, I just want to say, tinfoil hat, it's permanently on my head, okay? I live in the tinfoil. I was born in the tinfoil, okay? So, that being said, the government, entities, whatever you want to call it, they know at the end of the day that our genes are not always turned on when we are born. We actually don't have access to a lot of things when we're born. And then even then, as we grow, there are a lot of genes that make up a lot of the decisions for our lives that they've been telling us, oh yeah, but that's based off heredity. No, it's fucking not. They're inactive until they're active, and things within our environment, stressors, can cause genes to activate or to deactivate. I'm going to give you one that's a little conspiracy theory real quick, but the sun doesn't actually give you melanoma. It doesn't give you cancer. What gives you cancer would be wearing sunscreen. And I'll explain why. Because I've talked before about the power of the brain and impressing upon the subconscious, but how does that work with negative things such as drugs? How do drugs impact our brains and our genes? Well, our body has all these receptors, okay? And usually we'll have, let's use steroids for example. So if you inject testosterone in your body, that exogenous testosterone is going to bind to your androgen receptors. When this happens, in a male, this isn't a male by the way, your testicles will not be as necessary for producing the testosterone. Thus, they will shut down. They will turn off because they're, little things that bind to those androgen receptors, the testosterone we form in our body, it has no place anymore. We're getting it from an outside source. So, from that, let's extrapolate out what happens when we put a drug in our body that doesn't have a receptor. It doesn't have a receptor. Can our body create receptors for drugs if we believe we need them? And I want to throw this out to the entirety of the medical field, because my question is this: if we don't have receptors for drugs and we don't have any health issues, but then you have a doctor come along that tells you, hey, by the way, if you take this, you'll feel better, and then that person takes it and they end up feeling better, is it because of the drug, even if it was a placebo? Is it because we magically were able to turn on extra receptors to experience what that drug's effect would be? Is it just placebo? Does our mind control the interactions of everything in our body, irrespective of all of our genes, all of our receptors? Who knows? What I'm postulating is that if you hack your mind, if you tell yourself what you are and what you will experience, then that is what you will experience. So, going back to sunscreen, if you rub sunscreen all over your body and you tell yourself, sunscreen protects me from the sun, it helps me not get cancer from the sun, do you think that's good or bad? I would argue very bad, because you're telling your brain, this product that I'm rubbing all over myself is the only thing that's protecting me against the sun. And if I don't have this product, deep down within my subconscious brain, I'm not even conscious of it, my body knows that the sun is attacking my cells right now. The sun will give me cancer. You've told yourself it. So it's not the sunscreen that gives you the cancer. It's the absence of the sunscreen, because now you've programmed yourself, you've programmed your mind to understand, right, to feel the fear of cancer if you don't have that product slathered all over your fucking skin. I mean, it's crazy to me. I walk out to the pool, I go there every day, and I don't use sunscreen. And there are tons of people that I've talked to that have struggled with skin cancer before, and I've asked them that question. I'm like, hey, by the way, have you always worn sunscreen? And they're like, oh, yeah, I have to. Because they're very white people. They're just a bunch of Cracker Jacks, right? But they'll tell me, they're like, oh, yeah, but, I probably got it from a few times. I got really burnt because I didn't wear it, That's what happens. You don't wear the sunscreen, you get really burnt. It only takes one time. And I'm just listening, and I'm not doing what I would normally do. Obviously, I'm not doing the video shit and telling them what I believe the truth is. But in my head, I'm just thinking, oh my God, like, you're a very responsible person, okay? But you've bought into this lie, and now look at the manifestation in your real life of these fucking problems. You are in such fear of a bad outcome, and you've linked that bad outcome to the absence of a product that you don't even fucking need. You don't fucking need it. Most of the stuff you don't need. Most disease is brought on by ourselves. It's brought on by our brains. We tell ourselves. We coach ourselves into it. All disease is dis-ease. A body at dis-ease. The best way to contract a disease is to be worried, is to live in fear, is to think that, oh my God, I didn't slather myself up like a fucking eyote. Okay? Some of these motherfuckers look like mayonnaise just drizzled on corn in the sun, just waiting to get popped. It's crazy, dog. Absolutely insane. So, going back to the original topic, I know this is going to be a fever dream of a video. I wanted to bring up the eugenics part, right? I'm not saying for the birthing process, obviously we're not going to take like all the most attractive men and just pair them up with the most attractive women and no one else is allowed to reproduce. No. That is crazy. We're not doing that, okay? Not doing that, YouTube. So don't get mad at me for talking about eugenics. All right? I believe from a young age, what if you taught kids to journal? What if you taught kids to meditate? What if you taught kids that the thoughts, actions, words, and beliefs that they have shape their reality? And you taught them this when they're like 5. And they start hacking their own genome. Right? Because if you tell yourself you're a certain size, a certain weight, a certain eye color, long enough and thoroughly enough, with enough emotion, are you telling me that you can't change the way you look and who you are? We've seen it across the board. People change all the time. There are people that have been able to cure diseases with the power of belief. So why can't we change the future with the power of eugenics? Turning on genes, turning off genes, fighting disease with the power of the brain, and just having a good fucking vibe. I mean, maybe I'm nuts. Okay, I've accepted that. I'm most likely might just be fucking crazy. Right? I wonder, Chris, do you think I'm crazy? I don't think you're crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. But the question I want to ask is, what would be in it for the other guys if we didn't start doing this, right? Why would they want to say that anyone that proposes anything other than the current medical structure is crazy? And it all goes back to money, guys. It's always money. Even our foods, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, all right? They're not on our team. No. They're peddling drugs. And this is the tinfoil, okay, boys? They are peddling drugs to turn on your genes against your will. They are creating a need for your body to create antibodies to diseases that won't even affect you or exist. They are using the same thing I'm talking about, but the opposite end. They're programming disease into your body, fear into your body. Why do you think we have so many doctors' checkups? Why do you think they have to hold your nuts and make you turn your head to the side and cough and then say, oh, that's a hell of a lump there? I'm like, no, bro, that's just my cock. Okay? It's weird. It's so fucking weird. We live in a society where it's just based on fear, which causes this disease, all these medications. And I know if you're still here watching this, you know I'm fucking speaking the truth. How is it humanly possible that we could have this level of technology, which is still dog shit compared to what we've had in the... We go back hundreds of thousands of years, millions of fucking years, billions of years. We've just forgotten, and we keep blowing ourselves up. And the reason we keep blowing ourselves up is because we get into this state where half, if not more, of the society basically becomes sheepified. They get obsessed with this fear state pushed on them by the elites, the people up on top, that say, oh, no. You have to live in fear your whole life. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't want high blood pressure? You don't want high blood pressure? Here, take this medication. Take this medication. Even though over time they've lowered the blood pressure and the cholesterol levels down to whatever they deem fit to try and program us to have it. I mean, I just want to talk about cholesterol real quick. But cholesterol is highly necessary. And having high cholesterol is not a bad thing. That means you have high brain function. Your brain needs cholesterol. Cholesterol is the most important thing in your body for brain function. Okay? And they do not want you to have high brain function. Why do you think there's such a push by the FDA to reduce people's cholesterol levels? And over time, they've reduced the high-end range over and over and over. And why do they do that? Because if they lower it by 1 point every year, they just got a hell of a lot more customers. All they care about is money. They don't care about if it makes you dumber. They don't care if it gives you cancer. Just look at chemo. It fucking kills you. It kills everything in your body instead of just being able to fight it by yourself, which you could do. You could cure your own cancer if you really fucking wanted to. Of course, if I get into that one, I'll probably get a bullet. But it is what it is. I want you guys to open your eyes to this. Start realizing that who you are is decided up here. It's not decided by what drugs you take. It's not decided by your fucking profession. It's not decided by anything. Before there was yourself, there was a self. A self. And that self will give you whatever you want. Yes, we aren't perfect. We're basically evolved monkeys. That's okay. I mean, everything is evolution, right? If evolution's even real. We all get better over time. We all get to choose what we turn on, what we turn off. We get to choose up here, but we have to actually go about the process of writing this shit down, of feeling it, of meditating, of visualizing it. Because otherwise, who the fuck is in charge? The government? Bro, they want to kill 95% of us. Go look up the World Economic Forum. I mean, I think it's getting to the point where, I could make videos about, hey, let's learn to transmute some emotions into higher ones. And maybe that will help a couple people. But even then, there are way bigger problems here. The whole structure of society has to fucking change. Everything has to change because it's fucking broken. And the people that run it are a bunch of lizard cocksuckers. They do not care about us. They don't care about you. I do. And I want you to start journaling. I want you to meditate. I want you to do the shadow work. I want you to level up. And I want you to speak to yourself in such a way that it's already guaranteed. It's already secured. You've made all the changes, okay? Everyone could do it. There's no good team, bad team, any of that, okay? Eugenics got a bad name because of World War II and all that stuff, all right? I'm not going to get into the history and all the corruption there. But what we need to understand is that process does not need a mother and a father and then the insemination and a child, right? The child itself is eugenics. Everyone, every day of their life is eugenics. Eugenics, I want to say, is just the process of becoming better. It's turning genes on and turning bad ones off. Accepting things into your life and then pushing ones away that you don't accept. Sickness? Oh, that's cool. Disease? Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I'm immune. I don't get sick. Sick gets me. Sick looks at me and they're like, holy fuck, dude. I'm not going to go over there and touch that guy. He's got a tech deck already. Oh my God, he just did an ollie on it. He's fucking sick already. Yeah, you're goddamn right. I'm sick as fuck. We get to tell ourselves the reality that we wish to experience. We get to tell ourselves. So to anyone that's watching this, especially like parents, if there are parents, start telling your kids this stuff too. All right. If your kid wants to be a genius, they have to reaffirm to themselves that they're a genius. Listen to the way that people talk about themselves. How many times do you hear somebody do something that is a mistake, which there are no mistakes, they're happy accidents. We learn. We learn from mistakes, okay? We learn and we get better. Isn't that the beauty of life? Isn't that it? That's the whole point. Right? So listen how people talk to themselves. Start rewiring the way that we talk to ourselves. Be nicer to ourselves. Use the I am statement, the declarative statement of what you want to experience. Okay? You make a mistake. Don't call yourself dumb. Don't say, oh, I am an idiot. How many times have you heard that? Or I'm a piece of shit. Oh, how many times have you heard that? Oh, I'm broke. How many times have you heard that? Why don't we start saying I'm abundant instead of I'm broke? How about instead of I'm a piece of shit, we say I'm a good person. I'm a saint. I'm a living God. Whatever you want to use that will make your actions better. Start changing the way you view yourself. Start changing the way we talk to ourselves. Start changing the actions that we take throughout our lives. And start changing our beliefs towards life in general. This is a fucking video game. We get to decide it. If you guys want to learn how to hack it, keep following my video and share it around, all right? Because I'm going to discuss this for the rest of my life, assuming that the lizard people or the Atlanteans don't come for me. Although I think the Atlanteans are the good guys. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? No one knows. We are just evolved monkeys at this point. I mean, we are very much so behind the curve. And we are hurting ourselves because we are being enslaved, right? 1863 was the Emancipation Proclamation. 1865 was the end of Civil War, essentially the end of actual slavery. And then after that, you know, all the Jim Crow shit. And you could argue that at the end of the war, that was the end of slavery, right? The end of human enslavement. The chains had finally been broken for the last time here in America. That is not true at all. We've been on the plantation since the beginning. And what we need to realize is the physical chains may have been broken, but the strongest chains are the ones that we can't see. The strongest chains are the ones that bind our soul, the ones that bind our emotional state. They bind our freedoms. They bind our minds. Look at everything going on around you guys. I want you to become very, very fucking conscious of all the games that they're playing. I want you to become conscious of all the ways that they're trying to control you. I want you to become conscious of all the different programmings that they have put in to you over the years to make you think that you are not the best fucking thing since sliced bread. You are. All of you are. Every single person that watches this is the GOAT. You guys are all amazing in your own fucking way. You're all unique. You are all so beautiful, so special. And what's terrible is the fact that there are people on this earth that really, that is their life goal, is to destroy humanity. They don't want you to know you're unique. They want you to all be homogenized into this whatever I mean, I'm an American, so it's really rough. I don't want to call them NPCs or sheep because I think that's mean. And they are human beings, right? They are our friends. They are our allies. But they're being programmed. They're being brainwashed. Everyone to a degree is programmed and brainwashed. Okay? So become conscious of it. Start asking yourself the question every single time you have something that will affect your life. Every decision. Start thinking to yourself, am I choosing this for me or is somebody else choosing this for me? And then if there's a different answer other than yourself, next question. Ask yourself, what would be the benefit to me of doing this? Okay? And if it's somebody else that's imposing it, what's the benefit if I follow what they tell me to do? Why would they care? What's the benefit for them? All right, guys? So, happy Saturday. This is a eugenics / I don't even fucking know what else rant. This thing's been going for 24 minutes, and I don't script, so. Happy Saturday. If you guys have not gotten your dad a gift yet, I highly recommend going to the store, and if you're a young kid, ask mom. Mom will happily give you some money. All right, go to the store, get some steaks, get some pork chops, get some baked potatoes, whatever your dad fucking likes, you know? Your dad's Mexican? All right, I got this dish for you. Try this shit out. Chorizo. Get 2 sleeves of chorizo, some refried beans, and some rice. All right, I just like doing some Spanish rice. Mix the Spanish rice and the beans together after they're cooked, and then cook the chorizo up, and then using the oil that's still with the chorizo, because it gets very oily, Throw some eggs in there, like 6 eggs. All right. Put a little lid on top. Cook that shit up. It's delicious. Now mix it all together, and this can just be like an appetizer dish, but I'm telling you, you put cheese on top of this, you mix that chorizo eggs into the beans and rice, add some cheese and a little bit of sour cream, serve with salsa and hot sauce, and just like chips. It is by far the best dip I have ever made. I would highly recommend, and if you make this, your dad will fucking love it, all right? But be there, be supportive, be loving, enjoy yourself. It's beautiful outside, guys. All that matters is the human connection, so enjoy. Have a wonderful day.